Can you believe that it's been exactly 3 years since our beloved Chester Bennington, the amazing frontman of Linkin Park, the guy with an angel voice and the screams of a demon, has left this planet to write some new music in heaven? Man, I've been wanting to do a Chester video for quite some time, but it was just always too hard. So, without thinking too much about it, I just want to talk with you. I just want to share a couple of my Linkin Park stories with you guys today. So, I was still in primary school when I first heard the band. I mean, when I first heard Numb, Crawling, Breaking the Habit, and man, was it a special sound. It was not like anything that I've ever heard before. It was a perfect combination of melody, screaming, love, aggression, just energy, everything a kid in that phase is going through, you know? It was just like the perfect combination of every single emotion a kid is going through, you know, before he becomes a teen and even in his teen years. Heck, even when he's an adult, it was just a perfect combination of sound. But to me, it was even more special lyrically because I've connected with so many people, so many friends, just by talking about the lyrics. Because when you're listening to Linkin Park lyrics, all of us had this feeling that it could have been something that we written ourselves. It felt like a diary explaining each of our struggles. Especially when you're a teen and nobody understands you, or at least that's how you feel. Chester's stories about fighting your inner demons, and man, we all had some inner demons of our own. They just helped you in that period, you know? We were kind of that lost generation. We didn't know what to do. We didn't know how to do it, and we were just kind of lost. But one thing that we believed in was being together. So a lot of us were hanging out together, always talking about our problems, always talking about the music that we liked. And Chester's lyrics, Chester's voice, and the whole Linkin Park songs just resonated so much with us. It resonated so much with us that I can honestly say when I've heard the news about Chester's death, I was just devastated. It made me more sad than the passing away of some of my closer relatives. And don't just jump to conclusions. Don't judge me here because think about it. I felt more connected to Chester's lyrics, to Chester's stories, to his music, to Linkin Park's music. It felt like they were friends to me. I felt more connected to them than to some of my relatives. I'm not talking about some really close relatives, but still, it's kind of strange to have this feeling about somebody that you've never met in person, you know, that are kind of a stranger to you. And that's the funny thing. He felt more of a friend to me in one part of my life than some of my real friends were. And he felt more closer to me than some people that were physically closer, like living closer to me. And that's just the impact of his music in this generation. And I guess he wasn't just a friend to us. He was that kind of a person that helped you understand who you are. The person who helped you understand who you're going to be and what you are like as a person. And I think that's really powerful. I believe that Chester really had this ability to connect with people. And that's the reason why he's being so much missed to this day. Anyway, before I continue, let me just quickly introduce myself. I'm H of the Stage and my channel is all about music, whether that being music reaction, music analysis videos, cover songs, original songs, or just talking about interesting music topics in general. Today I'm not going to do a reaction to any specific Linkin Park video, and the reason is because I would really have a hard time picking one out because they have some amazing live performances. I usually focus on live performances on the channel. I might leave those analyses for another time, but today I just want to talk with you as a person who respects and loves Chester and all of his work. I just want to talk with you in a way that I used to talk with all my friends when we were younger. So just a few short stories about my Linkin Park experience. I remember this place, this bar that we used to go to, not to drink because when we were drinking outside. We would buy some cheap drinks and, you know, hide ourselves. We were younger. And you know how that stuff goes. But anyway, there was this bar that we used to go to play pool, to play darts, and, you know, just to talk about music. We really like talking about the bands that we like. We really like discussing which one is better, why it's better, and so on and so forth. I was the one that usually started the discussions. I really liked Green Day at that time. That was probably the first band that I really listened to. That was the first band that I myself, with my own money, bought an album and really listened to. It was American Idiot. But we just talked about different bands from everywhere. We were really into Blink-182, Sum 41, Offspring, Avenged Sevenfold, heck, Avril Lavigne, Eminem, you name it. There were a lot of us and we all had our specific taste. Anyway, in that bar, there was this jukebox kind of thing where if you know, toss a coin and you can pick a song, and there was this guy who I just hated so much, and I don't even know why. We just didn't click, but you know, just some stupid kid stuff. Anyway, he picked this one song, and damn, was it a cool song. I remember hearing this kind of synth piano sound, this heavy bass, and all of a sudden, the screaming vocal and drums just kicked in and just melted your face off. I remember for a moment I wanted to break down and cry because the lyrics were just describing everything I felt at the moment. I was just going through something, I can't even remember what, maybe a breakup, maybe something like that. But I remember the lyrics going, crawling in my skin, these wounds, they will not heal. Fear is how I fall, confusing what is real. And I was just out. That just ruined me, but in a good way. So just stop for a second and imagine that. There was a lot of us there. We were all listening to different genres of music, but we all really liked Linkin Park. So I asked this guy that I really hated, what the hell is this? What kind of a song is this? This is great. Just imagine how powerful that song is if I had this urge to talk to a guy that didn't really like just to figure out what the song is about. I asked him and we were all hooked instantly. We were all listening to different genres. We really liked Linkin Park all together. As I already said, they had this perfect blend of everything. Rapping, aggressiveness, singing, screaming, melody, love, just everything. I liked this sound so much that when I was buying my first, let's say, professional keyboard for performing, I was looking for a keyboard that can make kind of those synth sounds that Linkin Park has. Something like that. I was really into that electronic aggressive sound that they had, and this is what I got. Here I have my Korg PA500, and it's a kind of a keyboard that you can record songs to. The thing is, it took me a long time to record this one song. I was playing in my room, and I played every single instrument separately, but the thing I didn't know was how to delete. So I had to do the whole instrument for a whole song without making a mistake, or at least not making a huge one. So because I didn't know how to delete the bars that I just made a mistake to. So whenever I made a mistake, I would delete the whole track and I would record the instrument. So I recorded the bass, the drums, some synths, some pianos, and you be the judge. I will play you the part of the song and I would like you to tell me which song it is. And I just made the intro so much longer. But I'm sure you know this song. And I played everything like this. Now. Memories consume like opening the wound. I'm picking me apart again. You all assume I'm safe here in my room unless I try to start again. I don't want to be the one that battles always choose, 'cause inside I realize that I'm the one confused. And so on and so forth. I hope you can recognize the song. The song is Breaking the Habit, a little bit of a longer intro there, and I was just playing around. It's not completely the same as the original, but it was just my first experience, not only recording music, but really breaking down the song, really breaking down every single instrument. And I really enjoyed this kind of simplicity, because Linkin Park was never about being too difficult to listen to. When you break down the instruments, sometimes it's not that hard to play, but altogether it just sounds very explosive, very powerful. As I already said, I spent hours on this track. I wanted to do it live. I wanted to do this thing where I recorded the backing track, but I played the solos live and sang, but that never happened for some reason. I don't know why. Anyway, the day that I've heard Chester passed away, I was working at this big music festival that we have here. I was a part of the festival staff, helping with setting up the stage, setting up the instruments on the stage. I was working there because I wanted to know more about mixing the bands live, but it actually happened to be more like carrying the equipment all day. But anyways, and I remember seeing the festival manager there on the stage, and I remember that he reacted to my post on Facebook about Chester's death with a crying emotion reaction. You know those crying, yellow faces. And he was commenting something like, "Are you being serious? Don't mess with my, emotions." Then another guy that I don't even know responded like, "Yeah, it's unfortunately true. Shinoda just posted it on Twitter, so it's official." And we were just out of our minds. We were both fans, and we really felt so bad, because the festival was supposed to be happy and And thank God it went okay. But I just remember talking with him and just, talking about how great Hybrid Theory was. And we remember the time that Minutes to Midnight just came out. I remember having almost every song on my mobile phone. And I remember when we were kids, it was kind of a thing to do to, collect all the MP3s of your favorite songs and then to share them with your friends over Bluetooth. It was almost like collecting Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon cards, but just collecting the songs that you really enjoyed. Another short Linkin Park story that I have, I remember being in my music school, and most of the time when I had subjects that I didn't really like, I remember writing lyrics, writing my own lyrics, writing my own songs. And I remember this one part where I written something like blood, sweat, and tears. I can't remember the exact part, but I was very happy with the lyrics because it sounded, very heavy. It sounded really deep. And a little later that week, for the first time, I've listened to Linkin Park's song Nobody's Listening. And there was this part in that song where Shinoda rapped something like, never forget the blood, sweat, and tears, the uphill struggle over years. And I was just like, man, he stole my lyrics. It just felt like that for a moment. But at the same time, I was kind of happy because we both kind of had the same idea. And I guess that even made me more connected with them. Think about it. If you've written something and then you see it performed on a stage in front of a big crowd and it works, it just makes you kind of proud of yourself. Forget it. That's kind of a strange story anyway. All in all, I don't have one particular Linkin Park story that's, too spectacular, but I have a lot of, like a million small stories that have made a big chunk of my life and that still make a big chunk of my life. So whenever I'm down, I can still find a song of Linkin Park that fits the emotion. And I think that's very unique to that band. For example, when I want to beat the crap out of somebody, I just play Giving Up and listen to that 10 seconds, or is it more? 10-second scream, and just But here's the thing, I would really like to hear your stories. Do you miss Chester to this day? Is there a Linkin Park song that you really feel connected to? Have you seen them live? Because that's one thing that I will regret for the rest of my life. I've never seen them live. They were never close enough for me to get to the concert. And as probably a lot of us have made a mistake, I thought that we had time. That's one thing that I will never probably recover from, but what can you do? Life goes on. If you would like me to do an analysis of some of their performances, just let me know. I would be happy to do them. But for now, I just want to say that if we go deeper into the lyrics, you could really understand where Chester was coming from. There were a lot of songs that described pain, that described this depression. I'm not sure if we could have changed something. I'm hoping that we could, but I just want to say his lyrics are really real. I believe that they are completely honest, and I would like to leave you with the lyrics of this one song that kind of resonates with me the most. For example, there were parts of my life where I had to take these 6-hour drive bus to a different town and where I really had the time to reflect on my life, and usually because I was alone in the bus, or at least I didn't have anybody that I knew there, and when I was looking out the window, I was always, contemplating about stuff. And this song came more often than I thought it would. And I think this one describes exactly how Chester felt often, and most of us have felt. So I will leave you with this one. I dreamed I was missing, but you were so scared. But no one would listen because no one else cared. After my dreaming, I woke with this fear. What am I leaving when I'm done here? And I think that part just describes so much. So if you're asking me, I want you to know, when my time comes, forget the wrong that I've done. Help me leave behind some reasons to be missed. Don't resent me when you're feeling empty. Leave me in your memory. Leave out all the rest. Leave out all the rest. Don't be afraid. I've taken my beating. I've shared what I've made. I'm strong on the surface, not all the way true. I've never been perfect, but neither have you. So if you're asking me, I want you to know. And then the chorus goes again. But this part that I feel, probably the strongest part of the song, is the bridge that goes like, forgetting all the hurt inside you've learned to hide so well, pretending someone else can come and save me from myself. I can't be who you are. And I would just stop myself there. If there is a moral to this story, if there is, something to be learned from this video, is be yourself. Don't be somebody else. Life is too short. Try to leave something behind. Let's try to create something that people will hold on to. That can be music. That can be a YouTube channel. That can be a house. That can be a building. That can mean something as simple as just be a decent human being. Just be nice. Because sometimes that's enough to do. Anyway, I hope this video wasn't too depressing. I enjoy having you here. You look wonderful, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.